Alright, let's get some afternoon chess going. I was actually thinking that you guys might want to see the captured piece list rather than the move list. Just gain some space on this guy. Break on it. And my castle long. You can check here. It's a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. If you get takes now, I've got a strong pawn center. We'll just swing these rooks over and start blasting down on the king side. A little confused by this strategy of just trading off all the pieces. A little bit of an amateurish move. I mean, you could say, oh yeah, your king's stranded in the middle, but I mean, once the queens come off, there's no real threat. A pointless check here coming up. Well, he decides not to do that. So the advantage I have here is I don't have to worry about king safety. So all my pieces are attacking pieces, which is what just allowed me to win that piece. Play for these squares. Have to be a fork here. These kind of reinforce each other. Takes here, king takes. Gonna be a nice pin here. That piece is reinforced, that's reinforced. Just go here. I may sack here. Just to get attacking chances against his king. Turns out I don't have to. Alright. Not much to learn from that game. Oh, well, this person's rating all of a sudden went very low. So if I look at their game history, well, anyways, we'll forget about their game history. Odds are this person hasn't played a large number of games, so their true rating was actually probably a lot lower than what it was, what it appeared to be. Apparently this guy doesn't want to play as black. What's the plan here? Something with the queen. I've seen the queen come over here to a h4. Sometimes a surprising move after this pawn comes up. Yeah, I think the idea is to bait you into taking this pawn with the knight and follow up some kind of pawn move and then come over here check on h4, picking up the knight. I think that's a common strategy that I see people use. Let's get to safety first. Play for the center. Very odd opening. This guy hasn't moved any pieces on his back row. He's just now getting to moving his first piece. Not too worried about that. I'm a pawn up, and I think I've got the better position, and he's just voluntarily given up the bishop pair. Let's go like this. Trying to keep him from castling, if he's even thinking of castling. So maybe he's going to castle that way. Bring the rook up here. I'm guessing that was a pawn. Simplest way to deal with that is just to take it. And let's kick this guy out. I'll probably want to bring the rook over here to the edge. My back row is weak in this situation. If I'm not careful, you can, well, I can bring this bishop back down here too, but if I'm not careful, there's mating possibilities on this back rank. So, turns out I didn't have to worry about that. So, let's see, general theory is play for center control and develop your pieces. And so, with that in mind, I'll immediately challenge the center. This gives an interesting possibility of taking here. Still reinforced. Let's see if I come out here and take there, which would allow me to take there. Interesting possibilities in this situation. Actually, I can reinforce it. If he takes here, I can reinforce with the queen. So I'm pressurizing this f7 square. I continue to pressurize it. Now he's lost the ability to castle. I really should think about castling. I've now given up this square here. This pawn is no longer defended by the queen, and which would kind of leave these pieces somewhat hanging, which he decides to try to take advantage of. But what's going to happen here is I'm going to pressurize this square here. Winning the, well, an exchange of queens in the process. And I can always reinforce this just by pushing up. I'm happy to do that exchange. So let's kick this guy out. Two pieces for the rook is fine. Let's just take here. Castle to safety. And this can pretty much be just called a crushing position at this point. Playing for that square. More control of the center. I don't know what he's doing here. There's not much going on in the back row. This I will reinforce like this. It's probably a good idea for me to get my pieces onto dark squares anyways, because black has this light squared bishop. Oh, I'm in time trouble. That's a shame. I've got a completely one position. And I'm potentially going to lose it on time. Oh, I can't take that. Lost that one on time. So let's try to make sure that doesn't happen again. How can I target this? a little bit annoying. Not a huge fan of castling here. There are a lot of pieces pointing at this spot over here. But did it anyways. Let's change off a pair of rooks. Let's see if we can't just be a little annoying. Piece is defended. This piece is going to be hanging in this continuation. Which he apparently doesn't notice. Oh, this piece is hanging too. What am I doing? Luckily, this guy's just not noticing all the mistakes I'm making. Oh, I left that piece hanging too. Wow. This is a great example of what not to do in a game. Holy cow. So let's go look at that really quick at some of the mistakes. Because I think they're instructive. In this case, the knight is supported by the queen. And once the queen moves, now white's free to take. And actually all my pieces are, I have no defenders. So there's no coordination between my pieces. but white misses that. Actually goes to attack the knight. I'm so worried about saving this piece, I don't even realize this piece is now under attack. So I go to save that piece. We exchange off here. By that point, white, again, probably is distracted by whatever else is going on and doesn't even notice that my knight's free to be taken there. And instead takes a pawn. So you've got a free knight there. But white captures a pawn. And get a tempo on the queen. And I still haven't noticed it yet. I do this pointless queen move with ideas of threatening mate, but this knight is hanging and can be taken, and white doesn't notice that. And I don't take there. Oh boy. A better move would have been taking here with check and then coming over here, and that's mate. So now I'm so worried about this piece being hanging that I overlooked a forced mate in 2. And the game continues in the same disastrous way. And eventually white runs out of time. So yeah, lots of missed opportunities by both sides in that game. Try the Moore Smith Gambit. The idea here is to give up a pawn in the hopes that you can quickly gain control of the center. Let's go here. I've seen these variations before. Let's go like this. Okay, I don't think this changes very much fundamentally. So I've regained the pawn. This pawn is hanging in this scenario. So I'll capture a pawn there. Oh, if he exchanges here, oh no, I can always bring it back. Okay, that's not that bad. 1, 2, let's see. I think this will be okay. We'll capture here. Headback 1 by resignation. That's no fun. I don't think it was particularly a loss for him. The plan was to capture coming out of here, which would be 2 pawns. Or, well, oh yeah, I guess I could have taken here. That's probably what he was upset about. So capture here, rook for a rook, and then capture there, bishop for a rook. And then it would be 2 bishops against a knight and a castle, or a knight and a rook. Not a lost game. Definitely not worth resigning over. The guy just probably got frustrated playing without the queen. So I don't like this opening particularly. Um, all these pawn moves, I don't think really do anything for anyone. But in this case, black's doing whatever black is doing, and I'd like to dislodge this. And so I can do a more Smith type gambit here. All these pawn moves, like I said, I don't think add very much. This is okay if he takes. I wasn't expecting him taking like that. Let's go up here. Thought he might have taken there, here. Go ahead and take the risk of him taking here and weakening my king side. Just because this piece is potentially hanging. Let's go here, reinforce this, since there's nothing to be won here. Come here, outpost. The pieces are a little bit blocked in this position. That just showed kind of like a lack of understanding of the position we're in right now. Damn, the neighbors are blasting this area. Here. Wrong move, buddy. Wow, am I really gonna run out of time? horrible. Check doesn't do anything. And that's not a mate. That mate right there. Oh, yeah. This is a show wrong. So, I don't know how many more games I'm going to be playing. This downstairs neighbor blasting his music is a little bit annoying. Teenagers. worth resigning over. Yeah, I just can't focus with this music blasting downstairs. So we'll call that quits.